Hello and welcome. Tonight, I invite you to join a calm, gentle evening walk, a quiet journey through familiar streets, soft lights, and peaceful sounds. As we move together, you'll notice small details, gentle rhythms, and tiny curiosities that appear without urgency, all unfolding slowly to help you relax, breathe, and let the night carry you toward rest. Just after dusk, she steps outside for her usual evening walk. The day has already loosened its grip, and the air feels cooler, calmer, as if it's learned to breathe more slowly. There is a soft click as the door closes behind her. Not loud, not sharp, just a familiar sound that gently marks the beginning of this small ritual. The neighborhood seems to soften at this hour. Edges blur slightly, colors deepen, then settle. A single porch light glows across the street, steady and warm, casting a quiet pool of light onto the sidewalk. It's been there every night, and somehow knowing that feels comforting. She pauses for a moment, not because she needs to, but because the stillness invites it. Somewhere nearby, a window is open. A faint sound drifts out, perhaps a low murmur of voices or the distant rhythm of a television turned down for the night. It's not something to focus on, only something to notice, the way one notices the sound of breathing in a quiet room. Her footsteps begin at an easy pace, unhurried, familiar. The pavement holds the warmth of the day, and each step feels gently grounded. This walk doesn't ask anything of her. It doesn't need to be productive or purposeful. It simply unfolds, the same way it does every evening. As she moves forward, the street ahead waits patiently, unchanged and welcoming, ready to offer the small, quiet moments that always seem to appear once the walk has begun. The first stretch of the walk is always the same. She follows the familiar path away from home, letting the distance grow slowly, naturally. The sidewalk curves just as she expects it to, guiding her forward without any need for thought or decision. Her footsteps find their rhythm on their own, soft, even, unhurried. There's no need to match them to anything else. They simply settle into a steady pattern, one step following the next, as if they've remembered this route for her. The street seems to exhale as night continues to settle in. The sounds of the day fade without effort. Cars pass less often now, doors are closed, conversations drift indoors. What remains feels quieter, but not empty, just calm. As she walks, her thoughts begin to slow. They loosen and stretch out, no longer pressing for attention. The walk becomes a gentle signal that the day is winding down, that there is nothing else she needs to carry with her right now. The houses along the street stand quietly, familiar and reassuring as she moves past them. With each step, the walk eases her further into the evening, allowing her attention to rest more fully on the small details that begin to appear along the way. As the walk continues, the sounds of the neighborhood begin to come forward in gentle ways. Not all at once, just one at a time, arriving and passing without asking for attention. From somewhere nearby, a television plays softly through an open window. The words aren't clear, and they don't need to be. It's only the low rise and fall of voices, steady and distant, blending easily into the evening air. Above her, the streetlights hum almost imperceptibly, a quiet, constant sound that's always been there, even on nights when it goes unnoticed. It adds a sense of steadiness, like a soft thread running through the darkness. Leaves shift lightly along the sidewalk as a small breeze moves through them. The sound is faint, uneven, and familiar. It comes and goes just like the breeze itself. She doesn't linger on any of these sounds. She lets them pass through her awareness one after another, creating a calm rhythm that feels shared rather than solitary. These small noises suggest life continuing gently around her without interruption. As she walks on, listening without hurry, her attention remains open and relaxed, ready to notice whatever quiet details the evening offers next. Along the way, small lights begin to stand out more clearly. They appear one by one, scattered gently through the street, never bright enough to disturb the night. Some windows are already dark, their curtains drawn, resting quietly. Others hold a soft glow, warm and steady, spilling just enough light to suggest someone inside, moving slowly through their own evening routine. A lamp flicks on behind a window as she passes, the light settling into place without fuss. It doesn't draw attention, it simply becomes part of the scene, as familiar as the sidewalk beneath her feet. These small changes happen every night, yet they never feel repetitive. Each glow feels slightly different, shaped by unseen lives easing toward rest in their own time. The variety is gentle, reassuring, and easy to accept. She notices the way the lights reflect faintly on glass and pavement, then fade as she moves past them. Nothing lingers for long. Everything appears, serves its quiet purpose, and slips back into the background. As the street continues ahead, the steady presence of these warm glows keeps her company, blending naturally into the next moments of the walk. Further along the street, she notices another familiar presence, someone she has seen many evenings before, moving at the same unhurried pace as the night itself. A neighbor stands near the edge of a small garden, watering plants with slow, careful motions. The sound of water is soft and brief, soaking into the soil and then fading away. Or perhaps it's someone walking a dog, the leash loose, both of them moving calmly without any need to rush. They pass each other without words. No greeting is needed. There's only a quiet awareness, a gentle recognition that feels settled and easy. A small nod, a shared moment of stillness. Then the walk continues. These simple encounters happen often, and that's what makes them comforting. There's no pressure to speak, no expectation beyond the brief crossing of paths, just a sense of belonging woven quietly into the routine. As she moves on, the presence lingers for a moment, not as a memory, but as a feeling of connection that blends easily into the rest of the evening. One evening, something small feels slightly different. Not enough to stop the walk, not enough to cause concern, just enough to be noticed. A light in one of the houses stays on a little longer than usual. It doesn't flick off as she passes, the way it often does. Instead, it remains steady, warm, holding its place in the window as the night deepens. On another evening, a soft melody drifts out through the same part of the street. The music is faint, barely more than a suggestion. It comes and goes, blending easily with the quiet sounds around it, never asking to be followed. There's also a bench along the path that now seems occupied earlier than before. Someone sits there for a few moments each night, still and unhurried, as if they've always been part of the evening, even if she's only just begun to notice. These small changes don't interrupt the rhythm of the walk. They settle into it instead, adding a gentle layer of curiosity that feels calm and familiar. She continues on, letting the detail remain just as it is, present but unexamined, becoming another quiet companion along the route. Over the next several evenings, the small detail appears again, always in the same quiet way, always without announcement. The light remains on a little longer. The soft music drifts out now and then. The bench is occupied early, just as the sky finishes dimming. None of it changes much from night to night, and that steadiness makes it easy to accept. She doesn't wonder about it for long. There's no need to form questions or imagine reasons. The pattern is enough on its own. It settles into the walk as naturally as the curve of the sidewalk or the rhythm of her steps. With time, the curiosity softens. What once stood out now feels expected, almost reassuring. Its presence becomes a quiet marker along the route, something to notice and then gently release. As she continues walking, the evening holds its familiar shape, and her attention begins to turn inward, resting comfortably in the steady flow of the routine. As the walk carries on, her thoughts settle into a quieter rhythm. Repetition has a way of doing that. The same turns, the same stretch of sidewalk, the same familiar pauses along the way. Each repeated detail feels like an anchor. The houses that pass in the same order, the lights that glow then fade, even the small, unanswered detail that returns each night. None of it asks for explanation. It simply holds its place. The day's noise begins to loosen. Thoughts that once felt tangled drift apart, then fall away on their own. There is no effort in letting them go. The walk seems to do the work for her. With every step, the mind grows lighter. Attention rests on the simple movement forward, on the steady contact with the ground, on the quiet air that moves around her. In this familiar repetition, there is ease, a sense that nothing needs to change and nothing needs to be solved as the walk continues gently toward the deeper calm of the night. At some point along the walk, a gentle understanding settles in. It arrives quietly, without needing to be named. Not every detail needs a reason. The light that stays on, the music that drifts out and then fades, the familiar presence along the path, none of it requires a clear story to feel complete. There is comfort in simply knowing that others are moving through their evenings too, each in their own way, each finding a rhythm that suits them, just as this walk has found its place in the night. The realization brings a soft sense of ease. Curiosity relaxes into acceptance. The need to notice remains, but the need to explain gently falls away. As she continues forward, the street feels quietly shared, held together by small routines unfolding side by side as the walk carries her calmly onward. As the walk reaches its familiar turning point, the path begins to curve back toward home. The night deepens around her. Shadows lengthen, but they feel soft, gentle, and protective rather than empty. The street grows quieter, yet it is not still. Small, familiar sounds linger, blending into the calm. Her steps slow naturally, not because she needs to, but because the body already anticipates rest. Each movement carries the ease of a day's end, a day already put gently behind her. The lights along the way glow quietly in the distance. Windows, lamps, and small reflections seem to settle into the night, echoing the rhythm of her walk. There is a sense of balance here, a subtle completeness in the turning of the path. With every step toward home, the familiar arc of the evening wraps around her. The walk itself has done its work, carrying her through quiet observations, gentle rhythms, and the small comforts of routine as the night continues to unfold softly around her. Back at the door, she pauses for a moment, letting the quiet of the night settle fully around her. The familiar sounds are soft and steady, the faint hum of distant lights, the gentle rustle of leaves in the evening air. Nothing demands attention, everything simply exists, calm and unhurried. The small curiosity she noticed earlier still lingers unchanged, gently unresolved, and yet it no longer calls for explanation. It has become part of the pattern, a quiet companion woven into the evening, as ordinary and comforting as the steps that brought her home. She breathes in the stillness, letting it fill her senses. Each pause, each subtle sound, each soft glow feels like a reminder that this moment, this gentle return, is enough. The night continues around her, patient and steady. With the door just ahead, she allows herself to sink fully into the calm, carrying the quiet rhythm of the walk inside. The evening's gentle work lingers, leaving a soft space for ease, rest, and the slow unfolding of sleep. As the evening settles fully, there is a quiet space to reflect. Simple habits hold their own kind of comfort. The small routines, the familiar steps, the gentle noticing of lights, sounds, and moments, all of it quietly carries a sense of ease. There is no need for anything more. The calm is enough. Shared stillness, even in silence, can feel like company. It can hold the mind gently, like a soft rhythm that continues even when the body is still. The night moves on softly around her, patient and unhurried. Each quiet moment, each small detail that has been noticed becomes part of the calm that can be carried inside, wherever the night may lead. And now, with the evening fully embraced, it is easy to let go, to rest, and to allow the soft unfolding of sleep to arrive, slowly and quietly, as the world outside continues in gentle, steady rhythm.